There are two brands I'm about to test out in this video. They are highly requested by all of you. I love it when you reach out. I love when you comment and you suggest new products, new brands. It gives me an excuse to shop, which you know I'm always looking for that excuse, and I'm really happy to deliver this one to you all. So if you have requested that I try out KJH brand or Made by Mitchell, sit back, relax, because this video is going to be for you. Now I'm going to throw in some other highly requested products as well. Not complete collections from these brands, but just more individual products that you've really requested many times through the comment section. So a couple of the products I'll be testing out is the new Sephora collection, Best Skin Ever foundation. It's a 16-hour wear natural finish foundation. I was happy to see that they have an olive undertone. This is the shade 14-0, and I have really high hopes this is going to be really good. I have heard really good reviews on this foundation, and a lot of you reached out and told me that I would specifically really like this foundation, and also to get my feedback on this foundation. So we'll be testing this out, as well as this one kind of hurt, but to be honest, I am happy to pick up a luxury product. You know, through and through, I'm a drugstore mascara girly. I will always pick a drugstore mascara over a high-end one. I just feel like, A, they're usually the same, if not better. But a ton of you had reached out and asked me specifically to test out the Prada Scope mascara. So we're gonna test this out. I picked this up recently just for you all. I'll be filtering some of the products, of course, to just kind of fill in this makeup look that are not brand new, but some of them are requested as well, like just in the past, like the Kimchi Puff Puff Pass Powder in the shade Pink Rose. We're putting this on our skin. And then also, I had actually tried this bronzer probably a year ago at this point. I really don't remember. I also, to be fully honest with you, I don't really remember my thoughts on this bronzer. So I do have a new one. We're going to test this one out. Dibs was kind enough to send me some new PR, and they included this in that PR package. So thank you, Dibs. But this is the Duet Baked Bronzer in the shade Caramel Cappuccino. And Caramel Cappuccino was actually specifically requested because a lot of you said that that would be my shade and that I would love this shade. So I'm very excited to refamiliarize myself with this formulation and also test out this color, because I don't think I've tested out this color. Maybe I have, I just don't remember. It's been a while. Last but not least, we're going to throw on the most beautiful sparkle shadow from Half Magic that you will ever see in your life. I got this not too long ago and I took it to work with me immediately, and I was testing it out on my coworkers, and our jaws were on the floor over how beautiful this shimmer is and how wet the metallic shine is. So I have not used it on myself. We're going to use it on me today, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So Glitter Puck in the shade Glimmer Pop from Half Magic. Now let's get into the meat of this video, and what you really requested me to try was anything from KJH brand. So Katie Jane Hughes, if you don't know, she's a celebrity makeup artist. She is an incredible makeup artist. She's humble. She's just incredibly gifted. She's kind. We've DM'd a couple times. She's awesome. She's just really awesome. I'd be so shocked if you don't follow her, if you're watching this video and you haven't requested that I try her brand. If you are not familiar with her, I will link her products and you're going to fall in love with her content. She's just unbelievable. She's just mesmerizing to watch, really. So KJH brand, so happy to support a female makeup artist, or just a makeup artist in general, right? Who has a makeup collection. It's indie. We need to support. So I cannot wait to put her products on my face. And by the time this video actually comes out, she may or may not have launched, I believe, lip liners. So I'll make sure I, of course, place an order for those once they're out. But for now, this is what was available on the website that I'll be testing out. So we have the liquid activator that goes with the highlighter. I got the shade Light Gold for the highlighter, and I got two of the cream blushes. I got Soft Pink and Soft Berry. These are actually a soft smudge lip and cheek. I'll probably be using one of these on my lips as well as my cheeks. And then the other brand you all have requested I try so many times, but this product in particular, the Made by Mitchell curve cases. If you or someone you know requested that I try these out, I cannot wait to put these on. I got two different shades because I just didn't know which one was going to look best for me. And I'm happy I did, because honestly, I really am kind of a cross between the two of these. I got the light one and I got the medium one. So light, medium. I'm definitely a cross between. I'm like right in the middle, personal preference wise. I also got a newer product from Made by Mitchell. It's the Baked Luminous Blusher in the shade Soft Skin. Now, Soft Skin looks a little bit deeper on the website. I actually purchased these on Ulta.com, so I'll make sure I link that, of course. But when I got it in person, it's a lot lighter than I anticipated. It's still going to be gorgeous, I'm sure. We'll test it out, but it's going to be more of like a very soft underneath kind of blush. And last but not least, I picked up the lip oil from Made by Mitchell. It's the I'm the Bloss lip oil. I got the shade Bare. Now let's get into it. To start this video off, I was debating between painting with the Made by Mitchell palettes, but I think I'm gonna actually put them on top. I'm gonna do a light layer first to start of the Best Skin Ever from Sephora collection, because I really want to kind of see what this feels like on my actual skin and not on top of cream bronzer, cream contour, and things like that. So I want to just do a light layer of this first. This has a nice pump to it. Nice, slightly thicker texture, which usually means it's going to be a little bit longer wearing, which is actually exactly how it's marketed. I'm dipping into it with my N17 brush. I'm using the lighter fiber side of it. I got the bristles coated, and let's just test this out. We're going to do a thin layer. My skin is prepped with just my usual. I'm actually using just the Anua 70% rice toner. I have a little teeny bit of the Dew Instant Angel moisturizer, and then I have a little bit of sunscreen from Dr. Althea on as well. I did light layers because I didn't want to do too much skin prep underneath all these new products because I want to really see like what they're going to do and not have too much skin prep underneath. So just thin light layers of all. Okay, that absorbed into my skin a lot quicker than I was anticipating. So let me do another pump. Undertone wise, I'm looking at my monitor and it's coming across a lot more warm, a lot more like golden than it is olive, which is always a tricky thing. I think, it's always hard to get like a true olive. Sephora collection usually gets it really right. It's not bad. It's just a little bit warmer than I was hoping. I was hoping for more of like a neutral olive. This is giving more warm olive. Okay, not bad, but something just to kind of note. Buffing this all over. I'm gonna do a little wash across my eyelids. It's a longwear foundation. You can get away with applying a longwear foundation to the eyelids. If it's a glowy foundation, I never recommend it because it will definitely crease your eyeshadow. But I'm feeling this is, oh wow. Oh, that fully dried down. Oh, okay. So 16-hour wear, natural finish foundation. This really dries down. Holy moly. So the back of this, let me just read off a couple things on the back of this bottle. And really nice packaging, by the way. Sephora really does step it up with their packaging, like their in-house brand packaging. And it's so affordable. It's, undertone. I'm going to forgive it because this was such a really affordable product that, I don't know, I still recommend it. Like this is going to be an oily person's dream because it dried down so quick on my skin. Okay, so on the back, it's got some interesting claims. It's in a row. It's saying in 1 minute, you'll have medium buildable coverage, 16 hours of comfortable wear, 28 days later, if you use it consistently, you'll have improved skin texture. Interesting. And then 86% of this is skincare based with hydrating hyaluronic acid. Very interesting. Okay, so it is skincare infused, but wow, did this dry down super duper quick. Wasn't expecting that. All right, now let me talk to you about why I picked the lighter one, the Made by Mitchell. These are the curve cases. The lighter one had a lot more like neutral leaning olive undertone. This is very olive. This is neutral. This is very neutral. Actually, this definitely has green in it. Sorry, these are actually all pretty olive, to be quite honest. So that's the reason why I picked this one. And I also really like the blush tones a bit more. I'm not really much of a peachy blush girly on myself. I love it on my clients. I don't like the look of peachy blushes on me. It's just not my personal preference, but I did feel like it's safer to get two, and I can always throw this in my pro kit because it's going to be, it's going to come in handy quite a bit. So let's start with the lighter one in the curve case. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just dip in with my concealer brush, my N16 brush with BK Beauty. The reason why I want to dip in with this first is because I want to just kind of swatch and see what these tones are going to look like on my skin and then go from there. I'm going to start with this darker one. And I'm going to dip in. I'm going to kind of warm up the formula. And this might pull actually too gray. Okay, that's actually pulling a little too gray. All right, so what we can do is use this as contour first. So we're going to use this as contour. I'm warming this up on the top of my hand. Now with cream products, you really want to take the time to warm them up. They come basically very cold. Okay, so what that means is if you just try to dip in and directly blend to your skin, you're gonna have a really hard time warming it up. So what I always suggest is with these cold cream products is you want to really warm it up onto your skin. That's the best way to do it. Yes, you could use a painter's palette if you are ultra concerned about sanitation as a pro makeup artist. Listen, if the back of your hand is clean, then it's clean. But I understand if you want to use a painter's palette, but just know that it's harder to warm up cream products on a palette. And what I'm talking about is like either a metal palette or one like this you see me use all the time. So palettes like that, they're not going to be as warming as your actual hand because, hello, your hand is alive. There's blood flowing through it.
I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm watching TV. I'm looking at you.
So anyway, warm it up on your hand and then apply it. So we're going to contour. This is a true contour shade on me, at least. On fair skin, this actually, like it's marketed, it might actually be a really good bronzer. So just something to note. Go back in with my N17 and just kind of tap in the edges. already have like a little bit of a chisel effect. I'm not gonna go too intense because I'm really not a contour fan. I like to sculpt on my skin. I don't like to use anything too harsh or too gray, but for demonstrative purposes, let's do a little contouring along my nose. And then we're just gonna buff this in. Now what I wanna do is I'll probably go back and use the blushes from the lighter tone palette, but for now we're gonna close this bad boy up and we're gonna move on to the medium one. The medium one's gonna be, now that I've tested that one out, it's gonna be better suited for my skin. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoop out a little of each. I'm gonna see what the tones are gonna be like and see which one I'm gonna go for. All right, we're gonna go for this top right one right here. I'm gonna scoop out a generous amount onto the top of my hand, dip in with that same N16 brush, and we're gonna start to apply this to bronze up and to sculpt. Yeah, it's a much better tone. These almost have a waxiness to them. They're very opaque. They're very pro. Like they're very much like stage makeup, pro makeup. And I don't mean stage makeup in a bad way. I mean stage in like a performative way. Like these are actually going to be extremely pigmented. I'm assuming long wearing, but I'll have to give you a report back after this video is like posted and after I've worn this out the rest of the day. But they're very much like reminiscent of like pro makeup, stage makeup, theater makeup. You know what I mean? Like Made by Mitchell was not messing around when they developed this formulation. It is very, very highly pigmented. So I'm taking that same N16. I'm going to carve out all the areas of my complexion and get this party officially started. So that means around my eyes, underneath the brow, let's pull a little bit out towards my temple. Let's do a little lift. A little lifting and snatching. I mean, it spreads very nice. I'm gonna dip into a little bit more. This is definitely like the preferred color out of this palette. The one below it is a little too orange. You can see it right here. And then the one below that is just gonna be, these two are just too cool, just for my liking, basically. But if you're a makeup artist, if you're trying to fill your kit with as many like palettes as possible, reducing the amount of individual products you need to keep with you in your makeup kit to accommodate all clients, all skin tones, all skin depths, then palettes like this are really what come in so handy if you're a makeup artist. If you're working and you're working on a multitude of skin tones, like I mentioned, then you really do need to fill your kit with products like this because they're just so handy. They cover all the bases and they make sure that you are completely covered, right? So it doesn't matter who sits in your chair, you're gonna have the right contour, the right bronzer, the right blush, flattering blush tones for them. So this really is a genius product because you get all the blushes that will be complementary for those light skin tones, and you get all the blushes that will be complementary for those medium skin tones. And then obviously there's darker ones available as well. I just picked these two up for me. But if I were to fill my makeup kit up with these, I would actually be buying all of the colors that are available just to make sure that I have every single base covered. All right, we're gonna go to town. I'm gonna keep tapping this on. I am gonna switch brushes to my N12 brush. I'm gonna dip into that same deeper shade and we're gonna do some lip sculpting. This is, I can't even tell you, like this is actually extremely creamy. So you really don't, I take that back, you really don't have to warm this up as much as you would like some other cream complexion products. This is just kind of melting into my skin really, really nicely. Yeah, just do a little dimension there. And I'm actually gonna dip into the deeper contour shade right here. Tap into that. Let's add like a true contour shadow below my bottom lip. It's exactly the color you'd want to use. You'd want to emulate a shadow, which is going to be more gray. So this kind of tone for that, this one right here is actually great for contouring and just like shading your lip. Hit that between my cupid's bow. I feel good. I'm going to take the same color. I'm actually going to run this on the lower lash line. We're essentially underpainting, but on top of the foundation. So we'll blend it out and then we'll apply concealer to blur out any other edges that need to be softened. Grabbing that same N17 brush, I'm just going to buff off any excess foundation. We're gonna start to work this and blend this out. Tapping so we don't erase it too much. We still wanna keep that impact and that depth. We wanna soften the edges so it's nice and it's melted into the rest of my complexion. You don't wanna see any harsh edges. So tapping it in is gonna be a really easy, foolproof way to just blend this in without taking it away and taking off too much. You don't wanna blend it off your skin and eliminate all that work. You wanna tap it into place, blur out the edges so it's nice and seamless without buffing it off. Like just all that tapping that was really quick. Wow. This actually blended out so easy, which is a really good sign. And it really actually shows you how creamy this product is because, you know, that Sephora foundation dried down within seconds. And this is pretty much going on top of a dry, more matte base. So the fact that it's still blending out after all that time sitting on my skin, it just shows you how creamy it is. I feel like this is a really, really great formulation for dry skin. But for me, as an oily skin person, if you put it on top of more of a matte foundation like I just did, it'll be a really good balance of the two worlds. It's not going to be overly glowy and overly creamy, or it's not going to be long lasting. I feel like this is a really, really good formulation. I can see why you all wanted me to try this so bad. Okay, I love that. We're going to switch over to a clean N13 brush. And now I'm just going to blend the rest of the edges of the nose contour slash sculpting that we did. Try not to say contour necessarily because it is a warmer tone, but it is giving me a contoured effect. That is pretty. I am so happy I got the medium one because the medium one, yeah, it's definitely going to be the best suited for me. Really nice. Gonna lightly blend out the edge of the lip. It's really pretty. It's a lot more natural, to be quite honest, than I was anticipating. It blended out to be like just super wearable, super like everyday wearable, right? And you might look at a palette like this and think, ooh, there's no way I can incorporate that into my day-to-day life, but you 1000% can. It is very, very wearable, very blendable, even I would say beginner friendly. If you get the right color palette, it's gonna be very beginner friendly. So let's actually just dive into a teeny bit more. I'm gonna do a little bit more because to me more is more when it comes to the lip. That looks good. Now what I wanna do is pause for a second and I wanna jump to the eyes. I wanna start to get like a little bit of an eye base going on. For that, I'm gonna do a little bit of Makeup by Mario Master Matte's Longwear Cream Eyeshadow. This is the shade Sienna. Sienna is the only one that I haven't tried really or dabbled with too much. So I'm going to just pop Sienna right on the base of my eyelid. It's a beautiful, rich, warm brown. We're going to blend this out with a different N16 brush. I'm going to start in a tapping motion and work this up towards the crease. Let's do a bit more. These are so fantastic. If you've not tried these based on my recommendation and you're on the fence, but you're looking for like a good, just very blurring, smoothing, tinted eye base, I cannot recommend these enough. They're phenomenal. Gonna switch back over to my N13 brush. Now I will be using a multitude of cream blushes and also for my lip as well. I'm going to be combining a little bit of Made by Mitchell and KJH brand and also of course be using this as well very, very soon. The Hyper Shine Light Pigment, we'll be using that in a second. But for now, I want to just do a little bit of the Made by Mitchell blush. I want to just test out one of the lighter colors because I'm just overall very curious. I kind of want to use a mix of these two. Actually, let's use the bottom one. This one's going to be a little bit more neutral, and I want to just do a little wash of blush to test out because I want to be able to test it out and then put some KJH on top. All right, even though we're going to be using KJH as our blush, I want to use a little bit of the Made by Mitchell, so I'm going to pop a little bit of this light neutral color on to my cheeks, and then we'll kind of go from there. Going to use the 112 brush from BK Beauty. I'm going to dip in. This has the exact same texture, same creamy formulation, so we're going to use a little bit of this kind of like as our base blush. I just want to see like what the pigment is like for these. It's actually really pretty. Okay, so I definitely like the lighter blushes, but I don't know. I mean, these are pretty too, so I'm glad I got both. Am I going to use both on a regular basis? Probably not, but I do feel like they're both really nice. Very pretty. So before we move into KJH territory, which I'm so pumped and I'm so excited for, I need to put some concealer on my under eyes and get a little bit of highlighting going on as well because there aren't any highlighting colors in the Made by Mitchell Curve palettes. So we're going to do some highlighting with Miss Danessa Myricks. It's the Lift Smooth and Correct Concealer. The shade 5 is going to be nice and brightening. So we're going to line this along the side of the nose, do a little lift. While that is drying down just a touch, we're gonna do a little bit of eyeliner to finish up the eyes, and then we'll pop on some mascara. We'll test out that Prada, and then we'll do the Sparkle from Half Magic, which I am so pumped about. So I'm gonna take the Westman Atelier. This is the just black pencil. This is a very smudgy pencil, so I'm just gonna use this on the top. And then immediately go in with my N11 brush to smudge this out. Okay, eyeliner is on, it's smudged out. It's time to try on this very expensive Prada mascara that you all really, really want me to test out. This is supposed to have a 180-degree lift and grip. It has a very unique brush, which I cannot wait to show you actually. And I have heard good things about it. I'm not generally a luxury mascara lover. I do absolutely go hard for the YSL Lash Clash, but honestly, I only buy that for like very special occasions, and it's not something that I put into my everyday routine because it is so expensive. And I love my drugstore ones, but I have to tell you, I don't know if you have felt this container in person, but it is quite exceptional. It is quite special. I have never felt a texture like this with a makeup product. This is very unique. It's almost like I don't even know how to describe this actually. It's like a really fancy, almost feels like a shoe material, to be fully honest with you. Like semi-suede, I don't know. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. If you've touched this and you know what I'm talking about, please leave how you would describe it in the comments below because I am at a loss for words. So this is the brush. It's gonna be bristles on the top and it's completely flat on the bottom. Can you see that? So the bristles are just on one part of the brush and they're very, very short. This is interesting. Let's test this out. It actually says Prada on that end too. Wow. The fine detail is quite interesting. It says Prada on the bottom of that. I would have never seen that. I don't know how I caught that. All right. I imagine you just want to scoop them up. This almost feels like an actual, like a hairbrush, not like a mascara one, but like a hairbrush. I'm not sure how necessary this kind of brush shape is because I don't feel like it's depositing a lot of product onto my lashes right now. Maybe I just need to work more on the brush, so it's pumping in there. I wonder why they chose to do one half of this flat because I don't feel like it's adding to anything. You know, I don't feel like it's doing anything unique, that's for sure. This is so far very underwhelming. I don't know what the deal is with this. Why do people like this one? This is not doing hardly anything. I feel like I just can't get this on to my lashes. Hopefully you all have not bought this and have been disappointed in it. Hopefully you could watch this as a first time like review of it and let this be the deciding factor of whether or not you want to pick it up. I don't think it's worth it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I don't think this is worth it. I mean, it looks okay. It looks okay after like 3 coats, but I have had to work so hard to get impact and I don't have to work this hard with my drugstore formulas and, you know, even like my non-drugstore formulas like Half Magic, Persona, YSL Lash Clash, like those don't require this many coats and this much finessing. I feel like I've taken like 15 minutes just doing mascara alone. Yeah, no, this brush is too odd. It's too difficult. This is a hard pass for me. All right, let's move on. Let's blend out this concealer. I've let this dry down actually a little bit too long because that mascara took me way longer than I thought and was anticipating. I'm gonna blend this out with my N14 brush. I'm gonna use a tapping motion to keep that coverage into place. And then any areas I wanna softly buff it out and make it more natural, like around here, I'm just gonna do a back and forth soft blending motion. Still maintain some of that coverage and that lift. So a nice little mixture of tapping, blending. I'm gonna tap in the nose because I wanna maintain that bridge of my nose highlight. But so far, honestly, I really like the foundation. I'll have to tell you and report back on how it's wearing. And I really love the way that bronzer looked. I love that shade. I love the way it blended out. It looks really creamy and buttery and just really flawless. It's a really pretty bronzer. Do I need the whole palette? No. Am I happy to have it? Yes. Is there going to be a time and a place where I need all those colors? Potentially in my makeup kit, but on me, myself, I don't know if I'm going to use all the colors, but it is nice to have them. Yep, that's pretty. I love this concealer. Okay, so before we set the under eyes, I want to go in with a more wet product. That wet product that I'm talking about, which is something that you've requested. I can't even tell you like so many countless times. I think out of all these products I'm testing out today that you've requested, this is the most highly requested by far. So I have the Hyper Serum. This is like an activator for the Hyper Shine Light Pigment in Light Gold from also KJH brand. Look how pretty that is. So light gold is the one that I have. There's many colors available. This is the one I picked up. And then you activate it with the Hyper Shine Serum. Genius. Absolutely genius. Cute packaging too. I love her brand aesthetic. I love her bright colors. I just think it just really helps to stand out with all the makeup out there, right? Like this is very, very beautiful, bright teal packaging. So I'm going to squeeze out a small amount directly into the jar. Okay. Now she does have a brush. I'm going to use one of my brushes because I'm a little biased and I want to use this with my N14 brush because it's the perfect size to kind of swirl into this jar. So what you want to do is swirl in and that product, that serum just basically activates it and makes it even more metallic. You could use this product dry from what I understand, but activating it is gonna make it go on like really creamy and ultimately a little bit more metallic too. It's the same idea as like wetting an eyeshadow, like a shimmer eyeshadow. Once you wet it, it like activates it, makes it look more metallic or like a pigment, anything like that. Same idea, which is why this is so genius. So N14 is nicely saturated with that product. Now let's, oh yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, I can see why you've asked me to try this so many times. Why did I wait? I don't even know why I waited so long. It's like a total accident. But I should have bought this forever ago. Wow. Do you see that? It's like blinding, beaming, gorgeous, absolutely stunning. This is so pretty. It is quite glowy. I may have put a little too much activator in it. So I think actually less is more. Maybe like one little tiny dollop is all I would have needed potentially. But you know, I'm learning the product. I'm getting more familiar with it. Let me make the mistake of putting too much in there. And it's still working. It's still totally fine. I just don't feel like it was necessary to put like that much in. Wow, that's stunning. That is quite stunning. I'm gonna tap in just a bit with the N17 and just kind of clean up the edge just so it's not too much. There we go, just like that. That is unbelievable. Unbelievably, absolutely gorgeous. Like that is show-stopping glow. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm probably gonna put this in my professional kit. There's no way this is not going in my pro kit because I can't imagine this on the shoulders, on like the décolleté, how gorgeous that would be, or also on the eyelid, or maybe I'll buy myself one too. I don't know. Let's dive in now to the KJH brand Soft Smudge Lip and Cheek. Again, I have soft pink and soft berry. I'm gonna swatch them both. I'm leaning towards soft pink because I love pink, so no surprise here. But let me show you the packaging first. Super cute. I didn't realize she had purple products too. That's really cute. Wow. The twist up, very nice. beautiful pink color. Now let me show you what Soft Berry looks like. Soft Berry might be gorgeous too. Wow. So this is Soft Berry from KJH brand. That's gorgeous. Which one do you think? Soft pink or soft berry? I'm leaning towards soft berry now, but let's actually swatch both of them. So soft berry is going to be right here. Oh, that's gorge. Absolutely gorgeous. And then soft pink from KJH brand right here. Which one do you think is going to look so good on top of that beaming highlighter? Honestly, let's do a mix of both. Let's start with a little bit of soft pink. And I'm going to apply this with my N17. I'm going to dip right into this beautiful product and just start to tap this on. That's a beautiful pink. Wow, it's gorgeous. Very blurring. It's actually very, very blurring. I might need to put this on my lips too. This is just too pretty. Now we may or may not have to skip the Made by Mitchell powder blush, but we'll see where we're at. I don't want to take away from that hyper shine because it's just so phenomenal and it's so gorgeous. I don't want to take away from it. It's building up beautifully. It's blending out beautifully, minimal effort. There's no patchiness. It is a really outstanding formula. Like first impression wise, this is so worth the hype. And I cannot believe I took this long to try this out, to be honest. I feel borderline embarrassed. Like I really missed out. What a cool brand. Hats off to KJH, Katie Jane Hughes, because this is just so well done. These are so, so well done. Okay, I'm gonna stop fangirling for a second because I'm sure it might be getting a little obnoxious. I'm gonna go into Soft Berry. Let's just do a little wash of this and layer this kind of underneath the cheekbone. Give it a little bit more like oomph and like backbone. I could have done this in the opposite order, but this works too. Wow. These are layering so nice on top of the Hyper Shine. Hyper Shine is still popping through quite significantly. They're layering really well together. And that's something to always be said about, you know, using a lot of products from one singular brand. They're all meant to play well together. They're all going to get along. They're all going to jive together. You know, they're going to be moving and grooving. And this is like a great example of formulations that are meant to be worn together and they're meant to play well together. I think Katie Jane Hughes has done an incredible job of combining this more like soft, matte, blurry blush and lip product that works really well with that super duper high, wet, metallic shine. So two very different finishes that are working incredibly well together. That's a sure sign that there's a lot of thought that went into these formulations. You know, let's do some on my nose. My nose is missing a little bit of love. Let's give it a little love. Cute. Wow. I'm not as cute as Katie Jane Hughes, but man, do I feel cute with her blushes on. I really do. I feel so much cuter with her blushes on and that highlighter. Wow. Exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. I have to stop fangirling. Let's put some powder on my skin. Let's bring some balance to this makeup look. I have a lot of glow going on at this point. I do have really oily skin. So let's bring some balance in to this look with a product that you requested a long time ago, the Kimchi Puff Puff Pass powder in pink. So it's going to be very pink. I'm going to grab a different N14 brush that's clean. I'm going to tap into this. I'm going to blend this into the palm of my hand and we're going to work this into the bristles of the brush and we're just going to tap this in. I actually have, surprisingly, after all that talking, all that laughing and all that smiling, I have no creases happening under my eyes, which really reminds me why I love this concealer from Danessa Myricks, and I don't know why I forgot about it. Actually, I kind of do know why I forgot about it, to be fully honest with you. I forgot about it because I have been so in love with Natasha Denona and, of course, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. So had those not really been in my life, I would have still been using the Danessa one probably every single day. But, you know, we switch it up around here. A lot of makeup floating around the internet. Gotta switch it up. Now, I'm going to powder my lips just a touch. Okay, just a little bit for longevity. Powder is melting in very well and very nicely, even with that hyper shine so close to my under eyes. Do you see that? There's no separation. There's no like harsh line where like the powder is starting to like lift up or like the hyper shine's starting to lift up the concealer. They're all blending really well together. So a lot of good formulations happening in this video, which I'm so happy about. The last time I filmed one of these videos where I tested out products that you asked me to try, it didn't go that smoothly. This is a stark difference, stark contrast to that first video. This is all going really, really well. Knock on wood. But let me throw on some bronzer. Let's throw on the Dibs Caramel Cappuccino, the Duet Baked Bronzer. I'm going to put this on with my tried and true 104 brush. Dip into both these. One's more matte. One has some like very like hourglass-esque swirls going on. It's a baked bronzer, just like Hourglass is as well. Tapping into that, we're going to lock in the Made by Mitchell as I would with anything. So any cream product I put on my skin for longevity, I would set it into place with a powder. So we're just going to use this powder on top and it looks pretty. It looks really pretty. It's working really well with the Made by Mitchell. Let's hit my nose a bit. Just do a bit around my temple, just to kind of fill this in with some warmth. It's not contouring, it's just filling it in with some warmth. Let's hit the chin. This blush is blushing in like the best way possible, and I'm just very much here for this. A little more kimchi powder right here because I see that my eye is watering a touch, and I want to kind of keep this at bay right away. So we're just gonna let that lock in and settle that in for a minute. I do want to do a couple things before I like finish up the lip and the eyes. I want to go in with the Westman Atelier lip liner in the shade Biscuit. Biscuit is so well loved at this point. It's just a nice neutral earth tone. So we're going to use this to continue that shading and that sculpting of my lip. Just placing it near where I put that original Made by Mitchell sculpting product. Kind of round up my lip. Looking good. Now what I want to do is a mix of soft berry. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. You know what I love about KJ Hughes is, you know, she's truly an artist. She plays with formulas. She plays with different textures, different colors. She has a lot of fun with makeup. If you ever need inspiration, you know, if you feel like you're in a rut with makeup and you feel like you do the same thing every single day, highly encourage you to watch some of her content or all of her content because she is just really creative with her colors and combinations she places together. It just looks so good on her. She's absolutely beautiful too. So, you know, it's always inspiring to watch someone who's magnificently beautiful put makeup on their face because it just is like, you know, it's just inspiring. She's gorgeous and she's got like just such an amazing aesthetic. So highly recommend you check her out. Gonna go over with Biscuit one last time. I love to sandwich, kind of like an Oreo cookie. I always like to sandwich my lip products, like my lipsticks, with one final round of lip liner. Lovely. Those colors together with the blush are just so pretty. Going back to the baked bronzer and an N12 brush, we're gonna just lock in that original placement of the Made by Mitchell contouring color that I have under my bottom lash line. We're gonna lock it in with a like-minded shade in a powder for, of course, like I said, always longevity. Anything creamy put on, if you want longevity, if you want to stay put, lock it in with a like-minded powder. And I'm starting to feel so, so pretty. The only thing out of this makeup look that is just kind of a big disappointment is that mascara. This is very nice, very natural, very friendly. If you're looking for a soft bronzer that you can build and layer that's not too like overly pigmented, you know, with the initial swipe. If you're more intimidated by powder bronzers or just bronzer in general, baked bronzers are always a good safe bet. And this is right up there with what I'd recommend, like as far as Hourglass, but a lot cheaper, obviously. Hourglass is quite expensive, but very natural. This is actually very, very natural. Okay, I did not forget about the Half Magic Glitter Puck. Of course not. I'm a huge fan of the other two colors that they have available, like the silver and the pink. This one is like more of a champagne, slightly more warm. It is so unbelievably gorgeous. So just get ready to be like blown away by how stunning this is. So this is the shade Glimmer Pop. Now don't hate me, but before we get into that, I'm just going to take a big 201 brush from BK Beauty and just make sure that this is pretty locked in so I can rest assured that it's going to be crease free all day. It's a really hot day. I have really greasy eyelids and I feel like they were a little too dewy still. So I'm going to swipe in with my fingertip. This is the best way to apply this product in my opinion. It's just going to pick up the right amount of this metallic gorgeous color. And let me just swatch this so you can see. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything more stunning in your life? Like this is just pure happiness. When in doubt, having a bad day, put glitter on your eyelids. Everything's gonna be better, I promise you. So I'm gonna swipe this. Oh my God. Oh, yep. If you just needed one shimmer eyeshadow to put on mattes to like bump up your makeup look, to go out, to go to a party, to go walk your dog, to spice up your life, this one is the one to get. It's like almost completely neutral, to be honest. Wow, absolutely, positively exceptional. Donnie Davy, man, she just crushes this kind of stuff. The shimmers and like the fun things. Donnie Davy is just, come on. And if you don't know who Donnie Davy is, she is the makeup genius behind all the looks of Euphoria, the TV show. So she is unbelievably creative. Another female makeup artist, brand owner. So if you have not tried anything from Half Magic or KJH brand or Made by Mitchell, these are all artist created brands and I am here for it. Gosh, that's pretty. Wow. Now I do kind of feel like I could get away with putting just a teeny bit of the Made by Mitchell. This is the Baked Luminous Blusher. I probably should get a different color. Let's just see what the texture of this is like. I'm gonna swipe in with the backside of my N17 and let's just do a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. I just wanna see if I can give you any kind of thoughts on this product. I mean, it's nice from what I can tell, but I really do need to give this a good try on its own. So stay tuned for that. So I'll have to circle back when I try this on just by itself and really give this a good chance. I don't wanna just put this on top of a bunch of cream blushes because it's just not giving it a good first impression and a good review you, it's not doing it justice. So I'll circle back. I do like the texture of this. I do like the color, even though it's really, really pale. So I'll be testing this out further in other videos, so stay tuned for that. And then last but not least from Made by Mitchell, let's pop on the lip oil. Okay, final product, Made by Mitchell, lip oil in the shade Bare. Love the component. It's like a soft matte, and Made by Mitchell just has like the funnest packaging, some of the funnest packaging, other than like KJH. KJH is like crushing the packaging right here. All right, so let's say tinted lip oil. And I'm sorry, I got it wrong. It's actually the shade I'm the Bloss. It's not the shade Bare. Bare is like the collection, I believe. Okay, this is a little too frustrating to apply like that. Take my finger. Very juicy. Okay, here is pretty much the finished look, but I'm not happy with the way my lashes are looking. That Prada mascara is just not doing, it's just not doing it for me. So I'm gonna just finish this makeup look and make it look more complete. And I feel like I just need more lash. So I'm gonna add a half lash from Ardell. It's the 420. What I mean by a half lash is I'm gonna take one, cut them in half, and then place each one on each end. And then we're gonna kind of go from there, and we'll see if this completes the makeup look, which I know it's going to help a lot. So just like that, we have 2 half lashes. Gonna grab the Ardell Stronghold Lash Glue and my Tweezerman tweezers. And let's bump up these eyes. Yep, that's exactly what I needed. Right on top. Yep, that's exactly the secret sauce that we needed. All right, let's talk about this makeup look, because this is the final makeup look. That was the final step, and it wasn't something they requested me to do, but it's something that I knew was going to complete this makeup look. I want to talk about the foundation first from Sephora collection. It's the best skin ever. I need more time, obviously, to give you like my complete thoughts, but first impression wise, which is all I'll speak on for this video, first impression was it's a really phenomenally smoothing formula, but also it's going to be really good for oily skin. I don't know how well this is going to interact with more dry skin types. Of course, there's always the caveat that I'll throw out there that if you prep your skin according to your skin type, then you can and you should be able to make most foundations work for you. Just generally speaking, I think this is going to be a little more geared towards oily or combination oily skin types or normal skin types, whatever normal is. But I do really love this, and I'll be for sure using this in future videos to come. So I'll give you my continued thoughts as I get them. The curved cases from Made by Mitchell. Very affordable too. I'll make sure I link both shades in the description box below. I liked a mix of both, but ultimately this one is definitely going to be the best one for my skin tone. So the medium one is definitely more suited for my skin tone, but I'm happy to have this one as well. And this will definitely be going in my pro kit for my really fair skin clients out there, which is not that many. I will put it in my pro kit for that reason, but this one I'll probably keep for myself because these actually all worked out very well for me, and I had a really easy time blending them out. The formulation is superb. They are very flexible, very movable, but once they're on, they're there and they're in place. There's no patchiness. The pigment is nice and smooth, very buttery. These are absolutely worth the hype, and I can definitely see why you want me to try these out. I am a big fan of these now. And then Miss KJH, whew, wow. You know, these are so exceptionally gorgeous. You'll be seeing me use these probably every single day of my life going forward. I'll try to chill and not use them every single day, but wow, are these so gorgeous. I can see why you demanded that I try these out. I'm so happy I finally did. If I'm not testing out what you're telling me to test out, continue to ask and request it, because I will hear you eventually and I will remember to pick these products up. But please forgive me for taking so long, and I will place an order very soon for her lip liners when they come out, when they launch, because I am pumped for those. But wow, these are perfection. I have zero complaint about these. I only have compliments. And the Hypershine serum mixed with the Hypershine pigment, this like cream highlighter, I think you know my thoughts. Like you could see it beaming through my skin as we're talking right now. In fact, you know what? Let's just be a little crazy. Let's add it back to the nose, and let's just bring this back to life because I did put powder on and this needs to shine. But how stunning is this? It's absolutely perfection. This is gorgeous. This is so worth every single bit of hype and compliments it's ever received. I'm so happy I finally have this. I think I'm going to pick up the one that's like more of like a rose gold next, but for now this was a really solid pick because it's more sheer, more champagne-y, and really suits my skin tone. So I am loving these. You were so right to try these out. First impression wise, through the roof. The Made by Mitchell lip oil, very nice. I mean, do I have a lot of lip oils? Yes. Is this one a very, very nice formula? Absolutely. I'll definitely use this up and I'll definitely keep using this, but I did really enjoy this product as well. Did it blow my socks off? No, but lip oils don't blow my socks off. It takes something like this to blow my socks right off my feet, through my front door, into the street. This is unbelievable. This shade Glimmer Pop is exactly what we wanted from Donnie Davy when she launched the original one that was more pink, and then she launched the silver one that was silver. Those were all exceptional, but I was waiting, I was hoping, my fingers were crossed, and I knew this would come out eventually. And now that it's here, there's no stopping my makeup looks. This is just absolutely stunning. If you're here for a glam moment and you love shimmer, you'll have to get this one. I'll make sure I link this. I love the baked bronzer from Dibs. This was really, really nice. Just an easy, carefree kind of bronzer formula that worked really well. What else did I try out? I'll have to give this more thoughts. I'll continue to try this separately and more like, you know, exclusively and not with a bunch of other blushes on my skin to really give it a good fair go. The only thing, like I mentioned earlier, that was just not a hit and not worth the money or the hype is the Prada mascara. I don't understand why this is talked about, and I don't understand even why people are really liking it, to be fully honest with you. If you've tried it and if you like it, leave me your thoughts below. I would love to hear your honest feedback on it, both good, both bad, whatever it is, leave in the comments below. For me, it's a hard no, and I don't recommend this formula at all. Go to the drugstore, pick up L'Oreal Panorama mascara, and call it a day. That wraps up this video testing out products and brands that you asked me to try. I hope this helped to scratch that itch. If there's more brands and more products you specifically want me to try, always leave them in the comments below. Leave them multiple times, leave them on multiple videos, leave them wherever you want, and I will write them down. I will try to test them out as soon as possible for you all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love and appreciate you all so, so much, and I cannot wait to see you next week. Bye, guys.